There's been only one true constant in Resident Evil's 15-year history. Very few of its core entries are the same. The series has changed radically since its first installment, moving from a sparse, horror-focused game to something much bigger, much grander, and much more action-packed. Resident Evil 6 takes these notions to new heights. This latest entry in the RE series is by far the biggest, spanning the globe with 4 full campaigns, 7 lead characters, and a storyline that weaves all of them together. Capcom is clearly hoping that something bigger will result in something better, but unfortunately that doesn't quite prove to be the case. Resident Evil 6 contains some of the best moments, environments, and creatures in its series history, but it's also saddled with monotonous tedium. The strengths of this game are almost immediately noticeable. The environments and settings throughout all the campaigns are incredibly well realized and almost become characters of their own. Mix in some genuinely great lighting and sound effects, and you have a world that sets a new standard for the franchise. Enemies are also well designed. Some of them are simply stunning and truly terrifying. Resident Evil 6 sends its lead characters around the globe in an action-packed adventure to contain an outbreak of a new biological weapon called the C-Virus. Who or what are responsible is very much at the heart of the various campaigns, which cleverly and slowly piece together a puzzle from various perspectives. Each storyline in this game has some remarkable high points. Leon and Helena's trek through a labyrinth beneath a lonely cathedral is very memorable, and Chris and Pierce's battle against an invisible snake is one of the best things Resident Evil has ever done. Likewise, the Ustanak and Jake and Sherry's story is a great riff on a nemesis-like beast, and Ada's puzzle-solving sequences are a great callback to old-school Resident Evil. While this isn't the first game in the series to deal with more than one storyline, this is the most ambitious by far, and its overall success is admirable. Yet for all these high points, which collectively would make for the best Resident Evil game ever made, there are an equal number of segments that just aren't that entertaining. While Leon's campaign is generally spared from mediocrity, the other 3 contain immense amounts of gun battles against C-Virus infected enemies known as the Juavo. Though this certainly isn't the first time Resident Evil has featured shootouts, it's by far the most excessive, which betrays the game's strengths. An awkward cover system gives you the tools to get through the Gears of War-esque moments, but they're simply not very fun. In an effort to make all 4 campaigns lengthy entries of their own, Capcom attempts to add some variety to the gameplay, inserting sequences where you escape on motorcycles or battle aircraft carriers with jets. There are also some functional changes, like the addition of a skill point upgrade system, which replaces the function of stores or merchants. Yet it's the ambition of this game that's actually its undoing. Having 4 sizable campaigns, particularly ones that overlap and repeat several sequences and boss battles, simply isn't necessary, nor is the excessive use of QuickTime events. All of this is comparatively made worse by the fact that when the game gets things right, it serves up some truly superb experiences. This frequent shift of highs and lows, particularly extended across 20+ hours of play, is difficult to endure. And that's a shame, because there is a lot to enjoy here. Multiplayer makes a return to Resident Evil 6, from the core co-op campaign experience to Mercenaries and a curious notion called Agent Hunt. While co-op with a friend is a bit better thanks to the ability to drop in and out of online play at any time, the game is completely playable by yourself thanks to improved partner AI. It's still not perfect. Expect your pal to do plenty of stupid things, but it's better.
Over here!
Okay, I got it!
Come on!
Calm down already!
That experience is also made better by the fact that your ally won't take or use your resources, though that also means you don't have the ability to share ammo with your friends. Mercenaries is a fairly well-known equation at this point. The point and time-based challenge mode will certainly appeal to those looking for a more action-packed experience, and playing with a friend serves up a decent amount of fun. Agent Hunt, however, is a bit of a mess. The core notion of playing as an enemy creature is admirable, but the actual gameplay here is severely lacking, suffering from limited options, poor controls, and frustrating camera systems. Resident Evil 6 is by no means a bad game. In many ways, it hits series high throughout its 4 campaigns, and its ambitious story is equally noteworthy. But the game lacks consistency, and its great moments are swallowed whole by irritating and cumbersome sequences that should have never made the final cut. For all its achievements, Resident Evil 6 is simply too grand for its own good. In some ways, the series' constant quest to evolve has now aggressively worked against it. Yet at its core, there is still a great zombie-filled adventure to be had here. For more on Resident Evil 6, stay tuned to IGN.